Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in our self-imposed challenge in Shadow Empire that I'm referred to as people. What people? We were playing on a planet with like minimum rolled people. That's an outpost planet, so it's got a very low population to start with low resources. We've been getting a pretty good variety on the resources, but the deposits aren't very big. And some of them are already approaching running out 100 turns in. This is on slow game speed where we haven't hit magical techs like metal soil filtration yet, so we may have supply issues at some point when it comes to our resources. Around 100, we killed 400 infantry over the intern. We have 4 decisions. This is the Counselor for Secret Service. Let's go ahead and do a pass. Let's grab the civilian, scientist, and military. We'll see what our best choice is now. So we hit someone who's presumably pretty good at it. 42 covert ops, 35 war, capacity 4. You have the job. And yeah, we'll leave it balanced there. Leave into some of the demands. We're gonna offer them credits as gifts. It's a little expensive, but that raises their relationship.
Order received.
More private investment.
Roger that.
We'll do a quick check on the mine, make sure that none of the mines are empty. One of the mines is empty. The water mine is empty. Must have just run out, because I haven't been notified that we're running out of water. Good thing I checked. We'll have one turn where we're not making any water, but we can fix that. Send spy team.
Understood.
Critical success, so in theory there's now 6 spies in there. We will do a Xeno diplomat team on the aliens.
Order received.
All clear, sir.
Okay, fighting went well there. Truck station didn't finish in a turn. Probably due to the difficulty of getting supplies there, to be fair. Okay. So yeah, the supply situation isn't great. Could be worse. Okay, there's one of the hostiles. I'm gonna assume there's someone. Yeah, I'm gonna assume there's someone in the enemy capital. You know, that's probably a good place to put a garrison. And or at least have some of your troops in case the enemy gets that close. Thinking about it, this asset, mothball that. We don't need it generating power. We don't need the power. We can't really control it, and the enemy doesn't, so they don't get to have their power. Running trees down in that area. Okay, so that improves the supply situation there. Okay, so these guys don't have a supply system, so cutting them off like that doesn't really affect them, but we cut them off. Okay, so now we got enough replacements ready to go. Replace all the people. I still think the supply situation is probably improving down here. We're keeping administrative strain reasonably under control. And we're just outside the city. Like, that would probably be a reasonable attack mission with the armored car, but we're going to hold off. I don't just want to tread the forces down, I want to be more decisive. And presumably encircling the city and or attacking the city is a better way to go about that than just shooting up a fair trade. Then we got gospel arm. Yes, we're waiting for the plane to be developed. We'll do an improvement on the infantry as soon as that's done. Field testing on the infantry is probably about where we want it to be for an upgrade. The more field testing you have, the better the upgrade usually is. Not sure how much of this is don't say where it shows in here where the model or the field testing applies. So it should have been affected by it because it's an upgrade over the previous one. Strength 3-star, base design between 7 and 100 initially, structural design. Like, yeah, the development of this is pretty procedurally generated, so if you know what you're looking for, you can see whether you've got a good person, or good infantry or bad infantry. Their H shouldn't do any damage to the structures, okay. But yeah, we should be good and ready to do another one of those as soon as our model designer is done with his current plan. Which... what, 87% progress? So next turn. Leave these guys, and then we'll free up these units, and bring them down here. Hopefully that helps with the action point department. Okay, so we see the... okay, so they've gone around the other side of the lake, and they were building up roads to support the units on the west side of that area. We killed 5 infantry. We had 5 decisions on round 101. We're in a time and efficiency. Next 6 terms, efficiency will improve. Private investment. Corporate manager.
Wilco.
That's fine. We need to extend one of the mines because the water mine is empty. Losing 445 water every turn. It stays empty.
Roger that.
We rolled. Rolling 500,000 more water into that well. at the cost of 1 ease of access. So we may need to upgrade the water well now again,
Order received.
but for the moment, we're good. Okay,
Order
relations
received.
with the aliens a bit. I'll form the commando squads.
Roger that.
Okay, let's pull the picket off because it looks like the aliens have wandered away. I think there's a guy there. In here. Supply situation is not super great down here. Did you finish? You actually finished. Okay. And you finished. So we can go ahead and we're going to delegate you to the other location. We're going to provide colonists.
Order received.
Increase the amount of workers that you need to handle the delegated structure. This should next turn improve the supply situation down here. In the meantime, though, we'll go ahead and just nick their assets. Mothball it, not take damage. To be fair, this stuff doesn't have road connection because the road goes through the city, but in fact, I'll do something a little bit weird. I am actually going to road. Oh no, I only just acquired it, so I can't. If it doesn't take any damage, well, it probably will take some damage. Try to get roads to those so we can keep those assets intact. Or at least minimally damaged. Take that asset. Same sort of concept. Mothball the asset. That was apparently their metal mine, providing most of their metal. Okay, for the moment, we'll use you to close the pocket. Send in the infantry.
Advancing.
Oh, this is not going off for a great start. Yep, that was not a great start. And to be fair, a lot of these guys are green troops, so it might just be that the troops are green, not as effective as they used, or as the older ones. Okay, Romans see the logistics improve. And there's a pretty decent chance they'll improve. Zones, doing prime investment.
Roger that.
Then prospecting wise, we're looking pretty good prospecting wise. We are seeing more and more low value stuff, but that's mostly enemy territory. That's our next one to... Actually, that's probably not the next one, because that's a metal mine, so it's not going to be quite as fast as the oil. Yeah, we got like 30,000, so we got like 30 turns before we're going to start having oil problems. Things continue well. Well, other than the water. Though the water should fix itself next turn. Now we've put some water in the well. Oh, so we've gained some intelligence reports, and we can see that they've got a lot of troops on their eastern border. Up against the other major. So that's probably where most of the troops are, to be fair, yeah. You can see there is obviously not a player bias in this game, because they're going up against the other major more than us. Build 500 infantry over the intern. We have 4 decisions. We completed housing. We've completed high-speed machine gun. We've completed our reconnaissance plane that we're probably not going to build anytime soon. So, heavy industry there. Military is going to go for helicopters, I think. Helicopter engine. Here we're going to work upon foot 2 to improve them. So we're going to go from automatic rifle, 100 firepower, to Gauss rifle, which is 160. Doesn't require more ammo. It's only 50% more expensive, but 60% more firepower. We're going to go from padded envirosuit to combat armor, doubling the armor. One thing it doesn't tell you is that I think behind the scenes, combat armor actually has actual armor value from the perspective of armor penetration. I think this is 25... might be 25 armor? So it's not a big armor modifier, but it's enough that it's actually not taking full damage from bullets anymore. And our spies are in there. We'll do Shine Educators. Don't really need to play too much around with the politics. Okay. It's working. These guys went ahead and circled themselves. This is maybe one of the reasons we need to do some troop improvements. So yeah, these guys are running Gauss weapons and the combat armor. So they're running what we'll have as soon as we get our upgrade implemented. And as you can see, it's decently good for punching down. Has our supply situation improved, or is it still pretty bad? It's still pretty bad. Okay. So you're working? Yeah. And you're working? Yeah. Apparently not working particularly well, but working. And then same there. Didn't I upgrade you to 3? Just not get up to 3, I only got you up to 2. Or did you already immediately downgrade? It may have downgraded. Oh yeah, it's downrunning because we've assigned it back to the. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, so we can't delegate you, so let's undelegate you. In the meantime, we are going to try to level you up. Can I not level you up when you're delegated? I'll put that one in. Supply base, rail station, railhead. It's not the list. I guess I gotta have it delegated when I'm doing it. Okay. We can undelegate and level it up. I know the capital is gonna have no problem upgrading it, so that's not a problem. So we'll upgrade you. This is gonna move the administrative strain back to the capital, which is kind of what we wanted to avoid. At that point, I suppose we should upgrade you as well.
Order received.
Yeah, the supply is run out at that point. Okay. Yeah, because we're at the action point limit. Okay, so we're gonna try. We just undelegated you, so we can try upgrading you. And we undelegated you, so you don't down level, which means we're gonna have administrative strain on the capital. That's gonna be the problem with the U. Okay. Okay, let's try to deal with this pocket while we can. So free the troops up, move them someplace else. Take combat loss. It's not too bad.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we'll sort of blood your nose on that unit this turn. We'll get that model design in relatively quick, I believe. Although that's not an indication because we can't see how much progress it made right now. Prospecting. We think there's another water deposit in Buntera Pond. That we're not using yet. So could do a prospecting mission on that one.
Roger that.
Found a water deposit, don't think there's anything else. Okay. Anyway, we're still winning in victory. Well, maybe not winning as hard as I'd like, but we're still winning victory. Okay, given that, I think we'd cycle the turn and keep moving. Water mine should now start producing water. Already seeing an indication that we probably aren't going to make enough water to cover the water deficit, in which case we'll have to upgrade the mine again. But we'll have a lot more time to do that. We're going to be like having a deficit of 7, which is a lot easier to deal with. the supply situation doesn't improve itself, I may need to pull back. Because the armor's not going to be very effective low on supply like that. Enemy simply walking out of the encirclement, yeah. The killer beavers took 600 damage, or 600 losses. Well, we killed 1,200 infantry. Most of them, I think, were wildlife, but we killed them. We have one decision on round 103. Make him an elite sniper. Do a private investment.
Roger that.
Almost 900, so that's slowly getting better.
Requesting backup.
Okay, so the situation has improved. Is the city really only garrisoned with one piece of artillery? Well, if that's all you're going to put in the way, you're about to have a very unfortunate day. Oh, they got a bunch of people in the SHQ. That's just a little bit more than artillery in the way. Just a little bit more. So replace the 3 infantry that were lost. Granted, that was in other fights. Replace the 2 armored vehicles. Yeah, so the hex held. We'll have to bring in more firepower to push them off. Although that was definitely an acceptable loss exchange ratio, I think. We lost one of the armor. The armor probably actually needs a pass. Those are the OG tanks. Yeah. Although, maybe from a blueprint standpoint, we won't be able to upgrade them much. Because we haven't developed anything new. Right, if we go up to the bigger armor, it'll slow them down. So it'll just be an improvement using the field testing to make them a little bit better. Might be worth waiting until we get side skirts to get that upgrade. This looks fine, that looks fine. That's fine. We're not a good place to attack there. We got colonists to deploy, so we'll send the colonists in.
Order received.
Got that great upgrade under route. Got that upgrade to route. Now granted, this is all probably contributing to more admin strain, which that could come back to haunt me if I let that get out of control. And we do need to upgrade the well. As I predicted, we're like 6 or 7 short. And to build that upgrade, we need 2 machines. So workshop me up 2 machines.
Roger that.
And extend the ice facility. Which at this point probably isn't going to run out of water. It's going to be a trickle, right? This is not a very good water source, right? Where to feed one level 3 farm, we need a level 3 mine, but there's probably enough water in there with that expansion, the peripheral mining there, that it'll be not running out anytime soon. There we go. Gain some opinionable members. Cult of Rebellion. Not expected to succeed. What, the failure's just gonna make them like me less? So we can take the... This is one of the ones where it usually gives you a bad estimate, I think. Let's hit this.
Understood.
Success. So yeah, the estimate is bad. Granted, that's because I'm getting a bigger bonus than I was expecting. Expecting a 139. So the highest you should have been able to roll would have been a 239. Regime secret bonus. Okay. So there's a secret bonus there of 20 that we were missing. We're also... Skill level, leader stat... Okay, so this thing's just being left out of that math. That should be... What, so... Oh, yeah, the secret's not included, so the 42 is not included. 53... 97... Yeah, I don't know how that maths out. It doesn't seem to math right, but that's what we got. Had 500 population deciding to join the rebel forces. 500, okay. Those aren't necessarily particularly strong rebels, apparently. Let's just say those aren't necessarily strong rebels.
Understood.
Let's get some spies embedded in there so we can get some idea of what these guys are. Masolin Republic. They are, if we look at the victory overview, actually the people in last. So they're probably actually pretty good people to attack after we finish with these guys. And then spy-wise, we already got 6 spies in bed. Let's put more in. There's another 6. That should keep them well spied on it. And then, do you have a Xenium diplomat? Let's go ahead and continue to do some Xenium diplomacy.
Order received.
But the level of frontage, it might actually be tempting to try to roll to see if we can get these to join us. That would lengthen the front, but in theory it'd provide us with more troops as well. Potentially cover that front. Okay, and then we'll cycle the turn. We probably don't have the supplies to supply the tanks down, or the replacement vehicles down there. Now, I should pay attention to the Supreme Command Council, or Supreme Command unit there, because it's not guaranteed to keep units in it. So those might go off to reinforce various places. Although it looks like they just walked a better unit in. which case there's a better unit there. Okay, over the end turn, we killed 200 infantry. It's round 104. We have 8 decisions waiting us. You want to execute a relative. No, that's up to the tribunals. Make it extra fancy. The budget here. I'm gonna keep this at 20, keep this at 20. Model design, we probably still want at 10. I think I'll drop the staff council to 5. Secret Service can probably be dropped to 5. Foreign Affairs can probably be dropped to 5. Tier Council can probably drop to 5. Because yeah, we basically, since the last time we gained the Secret Service, so we're giving it 5, and that has to come off of somewhere. Which, well, when it popped in, it gained 11, right? So it's actually nicked 11 from other places. We gave 6 of that back, which is why a bunch of places have more. I think you were actually at 10. So we've basically nicked the political power for council from there.
Copy that.
Confirm. That's, of course, pissed some people off. But they'll live.
Roger that.
Okay,
Order received.
take those people. Give them... This is credit. What do you want to ask? This is maybe a risk in asking. Right, because that would potentially... That'll pretty significantly expand the territory I have to defend. Whereas right now it's nice, safe territory. We do have the option to ask for mercenaries again. Or can give them money, which was what I was originally planning on doing. Let's give them money. I'm gonna press the button. That doesn't matter which one I hit there. Okay, so there is the Republic. Where's your city? There's a city. There's the city. They've actually got 2 cities. They got a little one and a big one. And the little one must be pretty little, because the big one's big enough that that's probably actually most of their people. Major diplomacy-wise, let's go ahead and open contact with them. Open contact.
Order received.
And we could propose peace with the people we're at war with, but we haven't done anything to calm them down, so they're not going to accept that. Okay, so the supply situation apparently was bad. Yeah, the supply situation was bad. Short on ammo, didn't really receive any. Okay. There is an exposed artillery there, so I'm tempted to just hit the artillery anyway. Artillery is not necessarily the most tanky of unit types. Yeah, a little bit of risk in there because I've moved the Galactic Republic tank by itself. I wouldn't actually be surprised if these could attack and do some damage to that. So a little bit of risk, we lose that very valuable tank. On the other hand, we've encircled their city, so they're going to have a really horrible supply picture going forward. The AI does get some free logistics just from having population in the city. But you'll notice with that statement, from having population in a city. So they're getting free logistics there. The problem is it's got nowhere to go. So all their supply lines that were probably coming out of that city, you know what they're doing? They're not working. They're not working at all anymore. So yeah, they're about to have some problems. About to have some real problems. So you're mothballed. We're just going around checking to make sure I've got the assets we've taken over mothballed to minimize the damage they take. Mothballed. Oh no, you should be mothballed. And you're mothballed, okay. So yeah, circled them. Hopefully the counterattack doesn't blow up our tank. They may not counterattack it because that's actually not... Like, that would allow supply in and out, but that would not allow the logistics in and out because they wouldn't have the road. So they're going to have to attack here or here to get the road. But with our luck, I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to succeed to do that. So let's not immediately assume that we're going to be able to strangle them for very long with this supply picture. Okay, and that's not the biggest garrison, so if we can get our guys properly resupplied, the guys outside the city encirclement will have supply issues. The people in the city encirclement are not very large in number.
Advancing. Do no harm? Yeah, right.
Okay, so we'll get that get that brigade back to the road, and then if we can continue to have an improving supply picture, we'll try to get it shipped to the front. Supply base is 2. You've upgraded the 2, so okay, our supply situation should be looking better. Water situation will be better in 2 turns. That's the administrative strain eating the water output, yeah.
Order received.
And the colonists got no unaccounted for troop replacements, so I think we're good to cycle the turn. Also got something I'm missing in, yeah, private investments. So this is basically converting political power into money for the zone. The zone buys a civilian building. The zone basically pays me sales tax, so I get a big payout. No, it's the big city. You want to look at the little city. Okay, so they've got no debt, so if we can get them enough money, they'll probably buy something. So the big thing they just did is they just did a debt repayment. So that's why they don't have a lot of money on hand. Oh, and they built a police station recently, so building more stuff. And that's security. That'll actually help the one thing they're low on. That'll make the workers happier. Good all around. We'll send the Xeno diplomat team in.
Order received.
And then from a trade standpoint, rare earth metals are quite valuable, so we will go get 5,000 money for selling half our stockpile of rare earth metals. Okay. And then we'll cycle the turn. We'll see how the situation evolves. I'm expecting some sort of panicked counterattack. If we can hold off against a counterattack for a couple turns, their supply situation should turn grim enough that they won't counterattack anymore. Or they'll move the SHQ to someplace else. Yeah, they'll basically make a SHQ-2. Okay, they attempt to attack out. They were able to push out. That didn't establish a road connection for them, so that doesn't help them much. Okay, that wasn't all going our way. We killed 1,100 infantry, cost of 300 of our own, and 10 guns. Okay, investor backing's pretty good. I'd like to do that one. I'd like to do that one too, but that's harder to do. We're not likely to succeed on that roll. It was like a 5% chance, 6% chance that we succeed. I should probably just accept his demands and not take the rest risk. Diplomacy, we're going to give them the gift of credits. So that's other regimes. We only know of 2. From 60 to 63. Okay, we'll take that gamble. Obviously, not going to be this one. Probably. Probably these guys. They're openly hostile to us. Okay, maybe that's not going to work. Oh, no, I think we can do that. It'll probably work. Okay, leader. Shadow diplomat on the Foreign Affairs Counselor. Foreign Affairs Director.
Order received.
Major will establish an embassy.
Order received.
Critical success. Raises their opinion, which may have alone done that. We've got 14 rounds to do it. The other one we can do is maybe work towards peace with the guy we're fighting. Sure.
Order received.
They'd have 8 opinion of us. What are you having supply issues with? You're getting all your food, so we don't have to worry about you starving. Yeah, all the food's getting through. That's good to know. We don't have any starvation going on. Most of the fuel is getting through. Okay, not most of it. Like a third of the fuel is getting through. So we're getting a fuel problem coming through. I think that's coming from the replenishment. We just don't have enough supplies to do any of the replacements. Oh, and the ammo's pretty bad. Yeah, okay. You're done upgrading. That's not enough. Then I gotta upgrade this truck station and this truck station. Or set a rail line through. A rail line would work. How much does a rail station work? Cost. 4 machines, 500 metal, and the rails. I got the 500 metal.
Order received.
We'll start building it. It's gonna take a while to get the rails going.
Roger that.
So there's the machines. To really make that work, we're gonna need a railhead here. And we'll do that leg's gonna be first. So capital to that place first. And then driving out the front is gonna be the next stint.
Order received.
block them running more into our territory. Don't want to attach more troops to deal with them. I might have to. Okay, quite some more people there. 400 more people. It's a start. Okay, get these guys back to the road. If this situation deteriorates, we'll have to push them north. If that situation recovers, we can push them down to the front. As soon as supply... Well, it's a long walk to the front, so I'm very tempted to get them walking. Unless the truck situation improves enough they can ride. Oh, that's gonna be really expensive metal. Yeah, that's really expensive metal. It's not worth buying metal. I don't really got any more rare earth metal to sell. And not worth selling the machines. High tech's worth a lot, but we're also gonna need it. We're not making enough water, otherwise the water would be interesting to sell. And food and oil is already being sold every turn. 160 there, 22 there, because food's pretty worthless. And we're not making a lot of surplus food. Okay. Yep, I think the next is stable. I think I had the last part going a little bit long, so we're going to take this as a little bit of a shorter part. The situation is good and bad. So... Oh, okay. So we can see how the enemy has responded to us encircling their HQ. And that is to raise 2 brigades of infantry. I don't think we're going to keep them encircled. I think they're going to break out. We're going to need significantly more supplies than we're getting to keep them encircled with that many guys. On the other hand, the longer we keep them circled, the more their supply picture in the rest of the country looks terrible. So we're not going to, like, abandon the encirclement. We're going to make them fight for it. They probably will succeed. Let's be fair. They're going to probably succeed. We got them encircled. That's enough infantry, and that's... Okay, the thing that's kind of going for us, which is probably why they picked that tile to attack, is that they don't really have good anti-tank capacity. Automatic rifles aren't very good at dealing with their armor. They only got 30 heart attack. And all of our armor is going to be providing at least 25%, or at least a 20% ballast to their attack, if not more, because they don't have the penetration. And the Gauss rifles, okay, they're bringing 41. Still not enough. Still not enough to go with the armor. Or, well... Not to deal with the penetration rate, so they're basically they're getting malices for having to, like, find the sides and run up and through Molotov cocktails and that sort of stuff. So yeah, they're gonna have a struggle with armor, which is why they picked the infantry to attack. And we'll probably pick the infantry again, so they're probably gonna push this guy back again. Whether they have the action points to follow up and break out that way, I'm not sure. That's what we'll find out in probably the next stream. We got these guys to deal with. I think these guys can probably block the detachment. That's fine. That's maybe a little bit of an issue. Bring another one over there to help circle and deal with that. Some sort of thing over there. That's an issue. In theory, they have a rebel somewhere, but I don't think the rebel is a serious threat because it was only 500 guys that rebelled. We could potentially, on the next turn, recruit some more mercenaries, free up some more infantry from over here using that. That would probably get deployed north. That probably wouldn't go towards the front, though. Model design, we've got it 47% complete after 2 turns of working... Maybe 3 turns of working on it? 2 or 3 turns of working on it. So we probably got 3 more on it. This will bring our line infantry up to at least parity with their line infantry. I wouldn't be surprised if our line infantry would actually be better at that point. Because I think we've got a little bit more model design applied, or field testing applied to our troops than theirs. Work on helicopter engines, work on the heavy industry. Once we get heavy industry, we won't ever have to artisanally build machines anymore, I suspect. I suspect like 1 level of heavy industry is going to suffice until we get some high-tech parts. Construction's going. We're starting to work on trying to set up the rail system. None of our mines are anywhere near running out. Although, that metal mine, the next time we have to roll to expand it, will be the last time. And that's a little bit of an issue. Prospecting, nothing more to find, but we got a decent smattering of everything. We got 7 oil deposits, 6 metal deposits. Rare earth is apparently the one we're the least on. We've only got 1, and we know that's a pretty small one. We've only got 1 radioactive, but we're not even ready to use radioactives. We have found more water, but the water is actually in the smaller of the 2 cities, which is a little bit of an issue. Are we actually doing any trading? Oh, we're obviously selling stuff to the traders. And then the private economy is buying stuff from them. So we're wondering where the demand for stuff in the marketplace tends to come from, and actually comes from your civilians buying from the market. We're expecting to not aligned. The territory, not aligned. Okay. Different exports. It appears to all be exports and imports. So we're importing quite a bit of food. So there's someone out there providing a bunch of food. Which is actually the main thing our private citizens are buying. We're exporting fuel, primarily. So, food and metal are coming in, fuel is going out. Trade perspective. I suppose I could actually probably, when it's saying tariffs, it was telling me to put it on a particular zone, so I might be able to actually do it to the non-aligned zones as well. Victory overview, we're in first. We lead in population by 3.2%, having just under a quarter of the planet's population in our 2 little towns. So, what, if you quadruple that, that's basically the planetary population in cities. So, wow. We got less than 800... Yeah, less than 800 million. Or, no, 800,000. Less than 800,000 people living in all the cities. We're coming for Bronner's Mark. I think it's Bronner's Mark we're going for. Yeah, coming for Bronner's Mark's main city. I think maybe it might be their only city. There might be some people down here. There's a little bit of people that shifty there. So we're coming for another 10, almost 11% population, which we've just worked out as like 80,000 people. Yeah, that's about 80,000 there. Probably closer to 60,000, 70,000 in there. So that'll give us a good score boost if we take that over, although that might not be easy to do, as we found out. Because they have determined that they are able to, if need be, rapidly deploy more troops. But yeah, we're in a good position to potentially win it. The solution, obviously, to win is either acquire more population or acquire more of the planet. And that is the status for us at the end of this stream. We have a decent popularity score in our country. We're reasonably truthful when it comes to fulfilling our promises and demands. We'll see next time if we can successfully complete that demand. I think we may have already completed that one, but we'll see. And yeah, I think this is a planet we could farm on. Whether or not we can find good places to farm on it is a different problem. Like that would actually, right about here is decent. Oh, the planet's decent. 15, 16, 20 degrees, so this is almost ideal temperature. So if we ever find enough people, we might make this into a small city instead of a farm up here. We do a farm, go out there, put a water extractor on the ocean. Long future plans, that is. And we've been trying to run democracy, commerce, and mind. We've been reasonably successful at that, so we're up in the higher tiers. Tech-wise, we sort of unlocked the second set of upgrades for our infantry and vehicles. Well, less so on the vehicles, I suppose. Though side skirts is a vehicle upgrade, so working towards that. Ecotech. So once we're done with heavy industry, we can start discovering stuff. Well, we can already start discovering stuff farther in. So water purification wouldn't be too bad. Water purification, I think it would actually be cheaper to use than water soil recompensation. Though it probably is penalized by the quality of the water on the planet. Deep core mining is fuel from the planet. It's one of the two high-tech fuel options. We're not going to have good volcanoes here, sadly. But yeah, so that wouldn't be too bad to get into. Ammo compactation's not too bad. We need advanced scanners for that, which is over here. I'm scanning the map, or scanning the tech web. There it is, which we can discover. So we can get our reconnaissance effects up. That would be a good thing to do. And then second generation equipment. So charge Gauss. Oh, I need to pick up polymer armor. So at some point we need to get over, pick up polymer armor. We don't really have the rare metals to run that as a vehicle armor, but that's prerequisite for heavy combat armor, which we'll want at some point. I suppose metal soil filtration is the end-all be-all solution to terrible mines. But yeah, this is where we stand in teching. We've basically got all the basic techs done. Some of them involuntarily, as we basically got handed the free gas-powered small arms and the free solid or free physical storage. I wouldn't have researched those personally, but we got them for free, so we have them. We're basically done with engineering in here. We're going to pick up heavy industry. We'll probably pick up side skirts to improve the tanks, pick up the VidCom broadcasting. We've started on helicopter engines. Might actively be working on helicopter engines. When we're done with helicopter engines, we'll probably make some helicopters for reconnaissance purposes. Maybe make some helicopters for reconnaissance purposes. Side skirts, again, extra protection against fire from soft targets. And we'll probably want to get the 4 in here so we can get the metal soil filtration. We are not really desperate for that, which is why we haven't been going that way. And really, metal soil filtration is going to be real expensive to set up without high-tech industry, so maybe we try dashing down high-tech industry in the future. But yeah, that's the status of the run. The run, I think, is going well. We have a decent possibility of winning. Although, basically no one controls the planet. The planet still kind of owns itself, is a good way to look at the state of affairs. I think collectively between all 6 majors, we maybe control a quarter of the planet. Control 100% of the civilized population, but a quarter of the planet. So 3/4 of the planet is still held by the marauders, slavers, and aliens. Though maybe one of the things we'll do at some point is convince some of the aliens to join us. That will give us a nice territory infusion. Let me bring up the upcoming schedule for the next couple streams, so we can find Twitch what's coming up. If you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be another part of this tomorrow, because if everything goes according to plan, we've gotten around to recording 4 more parts of it by your tomorrow. For my tomorrow, we'll be streaming Humankind. We'll probably finish up Humankind tomorrow, and then swap over to Endless Legends. The day after that will be Field to Glory Empires as Persia. We'll be continuing the fight against Egypt, where we hope to seal some of their legacy to put us in the running to win there. The day after that will be Terra Invicta. We're going to continue that resistance run. I think things were definitely starting to look a little bit more on the workable side at that point. The warships haven't had as much of a habit of blowing up in an undesired manner, at least on our side. And the Tier 3 HABs offer the potential to not necessarily expand in HAB locations, but to get much better usage out of them. And then next Monday, if you're watching on Twitch, will be when we do the next recording for Shadow Empire. I believe this part is the part that comes out on Wednesday on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, all 4 of those things probably have been recorded already. So if you can't wait till tomorrow to see any of them, you can hop over to Twitch, and you can probably see the after VODs. One of the Twitch streamers brought up that it might not be much of a compression savings to swap from 30 frames to 60 frames. You're running 1080p, and apparently it wasn't very much of a compression difference, so most of the new stuff will probably be up in 1080p at 60 frames per second on YouTube. Whereas Twitch kind of has to suffer with whatever the local internet can provide at the time, which may not be quite that high. If you got any comments that you want to get responded to while the stream is still live, this is probably the last time to get them responded to. I'll leave the stream up for about a minute after I end the YouTube recording to respond to any comments I see. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment. I do make a save. Well, technically, I think with the Shadow Empire game, I actually save all the autosaves. So I have all the saves for every turn. So if there's something you want to see on a turn, let me know, and I can go find that turn, record a short video of it. If you want a specific turn, I can probably provide that turn for you. I know on Reddit I provided the last planet generated files for basically all the previous runs. I'll probably do the same here with this run when we're done here. So if there's any things you want to see or want to save file, feel free to let me know. But yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and do the outro. So I hope you've all been enjoying. Until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.